Hello, I'm Paul, and this is Paul Plays with Fire. Welcome. Today we're going to make making another soup because it is soup season. We're going to be making creamy chicken wild rice soup. This is a simple yet elegant soup that you can have on the table in under an hour. The wild rice we'll be using technically is known as northern wild rice, and it comes from the Great Lakes region of the Midwest. It has a firm texture and a nutty flavor that really stands out in this soup. We've got all our ingredients assembled, so let's get busy. We've got about a half a stick of butter that we've softened up in our Old Faithful Dutch oven. We're going to add our carrots, celery, and onions to that pan, our mirepoix, and we're going to soften that up a little bit. We're going to add our garlic, a couple cloves of chopped garlic, a little salt, pepper, our mirepoix is softened up nicely. It smells wonderful, as usual. So we're going to add our about a teaspoon or so of dried chopped thyme. And then we got about a quarter cup of white flour, just regular all-purpose flour. And we're going to let that roux up a little bit. This will be the thickness, the flour will be the thickness to go along with the creaminess of the milk that we add later on. Okay, that's browned up nicely. Boy, that's soaked right up. That'll be our thickening agent for later on. And now we're going to add our chicken broth. 2 quarts of chicken broth. And then we're going to add our wild rice and our white rice. The wild rice takes about 45 minutes to cook. We add them all at the same time, and that just means that the white rice will turn kind of porridgey towards the end, kind of congee-like, but that'll be good. And then we're just going to slip a chicken breast in there as gracefully as possible. Ooh, little backflip. Extra points for the backflip. So we'll let that chicken breast cook in there for 20 minutes or so until it's done, until it splits with a fork. And then we'll take it out and cut it up into pieces. Meanwhile, the soup will continue to cook without it. And that way the chicken doesn't get overcooked. Because if we left the chicken in there the whole time it took to cook the wild rice, I think it would be kind of a mushy mess. Nobody wants that. Okay, we'll let that go for a bit. Our soup is simmering along nicely. Everything looks really good, it smells really good. We're gonna try and rescue that chicken breast out of there as gracefully as we got it into there. Maybe even better. Okay. Now we're going to let that cool on the counter for a little bit, chop it up into rustic soup-sized pieces, and put it back into this soup. Well, our soup is coming along very nicely. It looks just wonderful. It's all rich and delicious and creamy. Time to add the chicken back. That's the chicken we took out a bit ago and cut it up into rustic sized pieces. And then we want to add it back now late in the stage because we don't want it to get overcooked because then it just gets kind of not good. Okay, we'll let that warm back up a little bit and then we'll add our milk and then it's time to eat. Oh, yum. The chicken has gotten warmed up and integrated into the soup. It has become one with the soup. Now we're going to add our milk. You can use half and half, you can use whole cream. I happen to have just plain old whole milk, so I'm going to use that. And then I think you want to add that very carefully so that it doesn't curdle. I've also let this milk sit out for a little bit to warm up. Also, this soup is not good for freezing because of the milk content. When you Some about the freeze-thaw operation makes the milk curdle. You know, it doesn't really reflect the flavor, but it's not desirable. There. Now we're talking. We're just gonna warm that back up, then it'll be time to eat. Oh my goodness, look what we have here. Doesn't that look just absolutely fantastic? Creamy chicken and wild rice soup. That's just, Good for a cold day, a hot soup on a cold day, perfect. And you know, another thing about it, you can serve it as a standalone dish by itself, or you can, if you want to make a fancy meal, it makes an excellent soup course. It really looks like you know what you're doing, even though you don't. And it's quick and easy to put together. So let's give it a taste. Oh, that is so good. The creaminess of the broth and the nuttiness of the wild rice, and it's just, everything is perfect. I'm Paul, and this has been Paul Plays with Fire. We made creamy chicken and wild rice soup, and it is so good. I tell you what, if you like what you're seeing here, I want you to subscribe and go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Subscribe is right down here, I think. Oh, right there. So, see you next time. Bye. So, this has been Paul. I'm Paul, and this has been Paul Plays with Fire. We made creamy chicken. I'm Paul, and this has been Paul. Dog, you're not helping. I'm Paul. This has been. I'm Paul. Stop burping.